Hello everyone and welcome back to this EPFA Home Nations Cup fixture. This afternoon we've got a fixture between Northern Ireland and England, both coming off the back of impressive wins. Northern Ireland securing a 3-1 victory over Scotland this morning, followed by England's 2-0 victory over Ireland. To run you through the squads. The home team, let's go through Northern Ireland first. Unchanged from their starting lineup against Scotland this morning, we have Ellie Brown in goal. You've got Bartek Kuskowski, Kingston Briers and Ethan McCabe. On the bench, Carl McVeigh and Ben Thompson. The coaching setup of Alan Crooks and Michael Hilland. To run you through the England side, we start with a lineup of Greg Baxter in goal, with Dylan Kelsall, Lewis Harris and Patrick Kelly. That leaves Kyle Alexander, Dan Rigby and Tom Kelly on the bench. Once again, I'm joined by my co-commentator Brian Dix. How's your lunch, Brian?
It wasn't too bad, to be fair. Very nice little buffet put on there for us. And yourself?
Not bad at all, thank you. We hope you can hear us loud and clear, and your pictures are nice and clear also. We're still having some challenges with connecting to the Wi-Fi within the venue, so we hope there isn't any interruptions, and if there are, we do apologise. As mentioned, both secured impressive wins this morning and will be looking to extend their lead at the top of the EPFA Home Nations Cup table. This event is sanctioned by FIFA and proudly supported by our friends Power Soccer Shop. As our captains for this fixture, Greg Baxter and Ethan McCabe, get their pictures. Hand over the commemorative shield. It looks like we're about to get started in what promised to be another action-packed game here in Belfast.
Should be an interesting game.
Absolutely. All teams so far have impressed. The level has been brilliant, both from these sides, England and Northern Ireland, but Scotland and Ireland, who succumbed to defeats earlier today, both gave real good accounts for themselves. So we'll be wanting to get 3 points on the board as they meet in our later fixture this afternoon. Really intriguing one, that. But at the moment, we've got a fight at the top between these two sides, as the referee just readies himself. I have no doubt that England and Northern Ireland respectively would have watched each other's earlier victories and looked for potential places to exploit the other. Some really impressive performances for some of the players that are on the field at the moment. Dylan Kelsall was superb in England's victory. Ethan McCabe and Ellie Brown, two standouts in the Northern Ireland side, as Lewis Harris kicks us off for this fixture between Northern Ireland and England. Early 2-on-1 in favour of England. They would have had their instructions drilled into them at the lunchtime break from coaches Adam McAvoy and Chris Gordon. As Greg Baxter comes to take this free kick, over to Lewis Harris, finds Patrick Kelly over on the right hand side, who tries to recycle it, but Ethan McCabe is there to cut out the initial danger. Referee allows that little bit of contact, and 2-on-1 again as Bartek Kaskowski encroaches on Ethan McCabe. They'll want to avoid them 2-on-1, them easy opportunities for England. They'll be licking their lips at the potential of opening the score here as Lewis Harris takes the free kick over to Pat Kelly on the right, drills it into the side of the post. Ellie Brown remains stationary, and it goes out for Northern Ireland goal kick.
Glancing across at the England bench and seeing Chris and Adam both advising where they went wrong on that free kick.
Remains in play as Greg Baxter has to have the ball cushioned into the side of his chair, and Kingston Bryce will try and work an opportunity, maybe try and get it to Ethan McCabe. Good communication there from Kingston Bryce to get Kaskowski out the way. Lewis Harris fires it down to Dylan Kelso, fires it over to Patrick Kelly. Superb ball over to Dylan Kelso, hits the post, is still in play. Ethan McCabe really well positioned there, otherwise that's a sure goal for England. That's better from England.
And again, well done the keeper again, great positioning, not let the ball go across her.
No, some really fast, exciting attacking play from England, but it was met by a resolute Northern Ireland defence, and they'll be tested further here with this corner kick that Dylan Kelso's come over to take. Referee just given the instructions to the defensive duo in the Northern Ireland goal. Kelso finds Baxter, trickles the ball into the side of Ethan McCabe's chair. Will try and work it over to Harris. Does. Back to Kelly. Kelly can't find the direction over to Baxter. Can Harris? Harris fakes and gets it over to Kelly, who will maintain the pressure, but Ellie Brown is there to meet it. Kelso. Baxter. Well met by Ellie Brown. And Kaskowski does well to maintain some pressure, but Baxter counters, and that looks like it's got a bit too much pace on it and goes out for a Northern Ireland goal kick. Really exciting game so far, Brian.
Yeah, both teams putting it out there. I think the England team pressing, but again the Ireland team absorbing that pressure and turning it into a small attack themselves. Again, the goalkeeper for Ireland positioning was superb.
She really is a good player. Really exciting to watch. Got a bright future.
I have checked her out and seen if she's got English grandparents, so we'll be finding out that later on.
Nice battle between Bartek Kaskowski and Lewis Harris. Lewis Harris just ushering Patrick Kelly over to the left-hand side, so he's given the space. He's found Baxter in the centre. Can't get the purchase on the ball. But Ellie Brown just encroached on Kaskowski. And it's another 2-on-1 in favour of England.
Now this could be a well-worked routine.
Harris drills it into the side of Kelso's chair, and Patrick Kelly unfortunately couldn't get the control. Well defended by Northern Ireland.
Again, they cut down the angles so well there. Give England not a lot to shoot at.
Brown to McCabe to Kaskowski. Unfortunately, too much pace on that ball. And it goes out for an England kick-in. Five minutes gone, it remains England 0, Northern Ireland 0. As Baxter picks out Kelly. He'll be frustrated with that one. And it goes out for a Northern Ireland goal kick. Brown up to McKay. That's superb work. Once again, though, Kaskowski would have wanted to be 5-10 yards more advanced there to try and get a control on it, but it's well worked between Ellie Brown and Ethan McCabe. Little bits of fine tuning needed. We have to remember that a lot of these players don't have huge amounts of experience playing with one another. So when you're seeing this fast attacking play, as Baxter picks out Kelso at the back post, drills it into the side, but Ethan McCabe meets it. Lewis Harris with a superb ball over to Patrick Kelly, but Ellie Brown meets it. The pressure's mounted here, and Kaskowski is equally as good an attacking phase of play from England as it was Northern Ireland's defence. They're meeting fire with fire as Harris drills it over to Kelso, who finds it over to the goal line. But it looks like it may have been a 2-on-1 infringement.
Yeah, moving out of the way, didn't quite get out of the way in time.
Right, a little bit of breathing room for Northern Ireland here. Can they work that similar routine between Brown, McCabe, and to one of their wingers in Bryars or Kaskowski? Brown picked off straight away, Lewis Harris. That is the danger with that. That is always the danger with them goal kicks, and they'll be frustrated with that as Lewis Harris puts England one goal up against Northern Ireland. That's his second goal of the day.
You could see he was looking for that. He was watching the goalkeeper. As soon as she touched the ball, he moved forward, so he wasn't so he was within the 5 metres and easily punched it in with the front of the chair.
It's such fine margins because an inch or two in the other direction, and Ethan McCabe would have put one of his wingers away. So it's very fine margins in the sport of power chair football. Kaskowski will try and put the England defence under a bit of pressure. Hasn't been in the England half too much in the opening 8-9 minutes or so. Well worked by Kaskowski.
Yeah, well played. Well played.
Good chair positioning. Can he wrap his chair around it? Lewis Harris. Yeah, that's well worked by Northern Ireland. And Lewis Harris and Greg Baxter will be frustrated that they allowed that 2-on-1. Can Northern Ireland generate anything from this as Ellie Brown advances up the pitch to take the free kick? She'll be looking for Ethan McCabe in the centre, and then his respective pass to one of his wingers in Bryars, Kaskowski, is probably the play to try and break this England side down. Brown tries to find McCabe, but it's met by Patrick Kelly. Referee allows the play to go on as it's England's attack. Patrick Kelly going to try and wrap it round Bryars' chair. He's got the option of Baxter just in front of him. If he can pick him up, and Lewis Harris in acres of space. That goes in the favour of Northern Ireland. Have a little bit of respite. Much better setup from England in this half, I think.
Yeah, definitely. They're passing the ball a bit more now. They're finding the players. And they're doing that. They're nipping in, taking the ball off the tip of the chair off Ireland.
Baxter and McCabe battling away here, and that goes out for an England kicking.
You've got Greg Baxter in this game playing a much more up front role and more confidence, and he's hitting the ball much better in this game than he did the first game.
Completely agree. Lewis Harris of West Bromwich Albion PFC fires it into Pat Kelly, but Kaskowski does well to cut it out.
Again, it's amazing. Lewis has come such a long way. You know, he's from where he was just 2 years ago to now, and he's sort of dictating the pace and dictating the play in the middle of England Park.
Superb ball from Lewis Harris over to Dylan Kelso, who can't quite get the accuracy on the pass, but you're seeing the thumbs up from the coaching setup of Adam McEvoy and Chris Gordon. That is what they want to see, that accuracy, that clinical nature in their game.
Yeah, he did really, really well.
Fantastic ball from Lewis Harris there, and Dylan Kelso just giving him the thumbs up. Shows his appreciation, and they're really putting on a bit of a show now, England. Ethan McCabe turning into the chair of Lewis Harris, giving away a free kick. Baxter just communicating with Kelso. Can they double their lead here? Baxter, Kelso, back to Baxter. Can't get the purchase on it, and Bryce has a chance to advance, but Harris is there to clean it up. As well done by Dylan Kelsall to reverse out the way there, as Baxter has an audacious effort and an unfortunate deflection. I'm not sure who it came off last. I think it was Lewis Harris.
I think Lewis Harris, yeah. He didn't know much about it though, to be fair.
So Lewis Harris doubles England's lead and doubles his score.
Kelsall then again looking for the ball all the time. He's hungry for that ball to come to him.
I will say that the connection between Lewis Harris and Dylan Kelsall has been arguably the best connection and chemistry we've seen all day.
Definitely.
And this will fill Chris Gordon and Adam McAvoy with a lot of confidence that they're just finding the players to accommodate their system, and this seems to be perfect so far. Round of applause from the bleacher seats behind us, filled with fans from Northern Ireland, Ireland, Scotland and England. It really is a fantastic hall and venue that accommodates so many spectators. You probably can't see them from the stream, but it's great to be back for an international event. It's been too long. As Harris tries to work it to Kelly, goes back to Harris. He'll be looking for his hat-trick, but Bryars will have something to say about that, who meets him. He's done well to work it. They have to be careful not to get too close as Pat Kelly tries to squeeze it between Brown and Bryars. Kelly, superb pass to Harris. Cut out by Kuskowski, but an unfortunate pass. He's Kelsall at the back post, and that is well done by Ethan McCabe.
Well played, McCabe.
Well done, Ethan McCabe there to cut it out. And it goes out for an England kick-in. Just seem like they're playing with a little more confidence, a little more swagger in this half, England, as Lewis Harris does well,
checks himself
to pick
really
out
well.
Kelly. That's a superb pass, and well cut out by Brown. Harris drills it into the side of McCabe's chair. Kelsall equally as good. A feint from Harris initially sends Bartek Kuskowski the wrong way, but he's straight back on the England attacker.
Well played by Lewis, well played.
He's having a sensational game.
He is.
Let's not forget the strength and depth that England have on their bench in Kyle Alexander, Dan Rigby and Tom Kelly.
But the good thing about the game so far also is that
that's unfortunate. Come off the back of Bartek Kuskowski's chair, nearly trickled over the line for an own goal. Lewis Harris is desperately trying to find his hat-trick, but they have to find a way through Ethan McCabe and Ellie Brown to do so.
I think that sums up what I was about to say, that England, even though they are winning, Ireland aren't defeated at all. They are still being aggressive, they're still coming out.
Not at all. There's a lot of quality in that Northern Ireland side.
Yes.
Looks like we're getting our first substitutions on the game. It looks like Dan Rigby is coming on in place of Pat Kelly, and Tom Kelly is going to sit in net now in place of Greg Baxter. Be interesting to see if they can maintain this sort of philosophy, this free-flowing football that they've done so well in the opening 15 minutes of this game. Kingston Bryars with a kick-in. Into the side of Kuskowski's chair, and it goes out for an England kick-in that Harris will come over to take. Kelsall to Harris.
Kelsall put so much power on that ball that caught Harris out then.
Goes in the favour of Northern Ireland. Ellie Brown to take. Kingston Bryce just in front, Ethan McCabe to her right. She finds Bryce, but Tom Kelly meets it for his first involvement in the game. And Kuskowski and McCabe encroached on the play, didn't allow that 3 metre distance needed, and it's a 2-on-1 in England's favour. Harris has some slightly different options now with Tom Kelly just behind him and Dan Rigby, recently introduced to the game. He's got Kelsall to the right. He's been superb so far today. Into Rigby. McCabe meets it. Pressure's still there though, as this battle between McCabe and Harris continues. McCabe's done extremely well there to play Northern Ireland out of pressure, but equally matched by Harris. And Ethan McCabe does brilliantly to win the advantage and the kicking for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, he stuck at his job there, didn't he? All the length of half the pitch there to not let the England player take advantage.
A very good little player. I've been impressed with him today. A lot of these Northern Ireland players, as Bryers now will try and force it through Harris and Kelly in that defensive setup for England, but Harris advances. He has Dan Rigby just in front who comes to meet it. Harris back to Rigby. It's a nice pass. Maybe a tad fortunate into Harris. Bryce sees it out.
Again, the Irish defence is there, it's strong.
It is. Three minutes left to play in this first half. England 2, Northern Ireland 0. 2 goals from Lewis Harris, who's just involved, picks out Dan Rigby, can't get the connection. Credit there to Bartek Kaskowski, he narrowed the angle and didn't allow him the space. Kaskowski with the kick in into the side of Bryer's chair. Well worked down the line by Dan Rigby. Pressure's still there as England get a kick in. All of these players will be wanting to impress senior side coaches and players to force a way into that fit for World Cup selection, as Tom Kelly drives the ball over to that back post, but Dylan Kelsall wasn't there to meet it.
Just come off Dylan's chair.
Yep. But yeah, Northern Ireland and England both travelling to Australia in 2023 for the Fit for World Cup. Can any of these players force their way into contention in the next year or so? There's certainly the talent there. So we're really intrigued also to see the EPFA Home Invitational Cup in May between the senior sides of these nations, where you can join us again on our live streams as we follow and deliver another international tournament. Lewis Harris does well to pick out Rigby, but a 2-on-1 infringement in the favour of England. Interesting, the referee didn't allow that advantage to carry on.
As we say, hindsight is a beautiful thing.
A little bit of communication between Harris and Rigby here. Harris takes over responsibility for this free kick. Picks out Rigby. Tries to pick out Kelsall, can't quite get the angle. I thought Harris was going to go for goal there, but Kaskowski does well to meet it. Can they get a third in these late final stages of this first half between Northern Ireland and England? Rigby into Kaskowski, opens up the space. Nearly let Lewis Harris in there. Ellie Brown's going to want to try and clear it as best possible. It's good positioning from Ellie Brown. Unfortunately, just misses that connection, so Lewis Harris maintains the attack for England. He picks out Dan Rigby at the back post. That's well worked by Ellie Brown. From our angle here, I thought that was a sure opportunity for England, but she found a gap to relieve that pressure on the Northern Ireland defence, and that is the half-time. A really, really intriguing fixture. We've seen both a really exciting, attacking, free-flowing football from England, much improved from their opening fixture against Ireland, but also the Northern Ireland defence, resolute for large portions of the game. It's just them little bits of quality
Yeah.
that proved the undoing and the difference between the sides.
Yeah, I think a little bit more experience in the Ireland there will be a match for England, definitely at this level.
Absolutely. So as we are now in the half-time interval, it is Northern Ireland 0, England 2. 2 goals from Lewis Harris. Join us shortly for the second half.
Pride wave.
Just get us back on comms. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this fixture in the EPFA Home Nations Cup 2022 between Northern Ireland and England. A fixture that currently sees England 2 goals to the good against our Northern Ireland hosts. Looks like we've had a substitution in the half-time interval with Ben Thompson coming on in place of Kingston Briers. Kyle Alexander coming on for Lewis Harris. Also, as Ben Thompson and Kyle Alexander respectively both forced into early action against one another. Ben Thompson made an immediate impact in the fixture against Scotland, scoring with the first kick of the game. He'll want to help Northern Ireland here, try and register some more success in the attacking phases of play, and if possible, put a few goals on that scoreboard for them. As Tom Kelly takes the goal kick, slips it through, Dan Rigby meets it, over to Dylan Kelsall. Can he get the extension? Really, really unlucky there. Millimetres in it, but really well worked goal.
That would have been a dream start.
From Tom Kelly, finding that gap through, over to Dan Rigby, pass over to Dylan Kelsall.
Yeah.
Can't find the right hand side of the post. Missed kick from Kyle Alexander just allows Bartek Koskowski back into defensive duties. Been drawn wide. Can he pick out Tom Kelly, who's probably the best option for him? Dylan Kelsall occupying the most defensive place for England, and they rotate again. As we mentioned in the first game, England play almost a 4-out system. No one's anchored to any one position. If there's gaps and opportunities, the players will fill them and exploit them. Tom Kelly, you'll see him in the luminous yellow goalkeeper jersey. Won't always be where you feel or think a goalkeeper should be. But that is the way the England senior side play, and what they've tried to ingrain and instill into the talent pathways currently within England to develop and find the next crop of full England internationals. As Kyle Alexander, a former full international, comes over for the kick-in. Down to Dylan Kelsall, who's going to maintain his position in reverse. Look at the options, full rotation, into Dan Rigby, back to Kyle Alexander. Tries to pick out Dan Rigby, but couldn't quite get the accuracy, and Bartek Koskowski does well to intercept, and now Ben Thompson has a chance to advance them up the field of play. Ben Thompson just needs to be patient, take his time, and Kyle Alexander's done extremely well to keep that ball in play. Thompson still there pressuring, but the pace on the ball was a little too much for Kyle Alexander, and it rolls out for a Northern Ireland goal kick.
I think they started how they finished the first half.
Can we patch you in every time? Ellie Brown with the goal kick does well to get it right up the field of play, take that pressure off their defensive duties. Alexander finds Kelsall with a really good pass. Kelsall can't quite find it over to Dan Rigby, and Bartek Koskowski forced back into action by Kyle Alexander. He'll have to drop off. Be careful of that 2-on-1 rule. As suspected, I thought, to be honest, I thought he had just given enough space. That could have gone either way, but the referee chooses to allow that 2-on-1 infringement in favour of England. Kyle Alexander will take Dan Rigby to his left, Dylan Kelsall to his right, goes for the right to Dylan Kelsall, tries to see it over the line, but superb, resolute defending by Ellie Brown and Ethan McCabe once again.
I think Kyle did really well in that run up to that play. Just the play before that, he actually let the ball run into the actual Ireland player to be able to claim the 2-on-1.
Kelsall with the corner. Well left there. A dummy from Kyle Alexander. Left the space for Dan Rigby, but couldn't quite get his shot goal bound. And I think even if he did, Ellie Brown had that back post covered well. Good communication from Ellie Brown, just communicating with her players where she wants them, where they're best placed to relieve the defensive duties of Northern Ireland. McCabe just in front, Kuskowski to her right. It goes to McCabe to Kuskowski, and that is a little bit of a trademark that they've obviously been working on from goal kicks. Ellie Brown advances it into McCabe in that central position, and it just a little nick, little touch, uses the momentum of the ball to see it over to his winger in Bartek Kuskowski. But every time they've tried it so far, it's had a little bit too much pace, and Kuskowski's just a little bit too deep. So if they can get that right, there's definite potential to exploit England or any other nations they take on this weekend. Alexander to Kelly to Kuskowski, intercepted well. He will maintain the pressure, he's done well. And that is well worked by Northern Ireland. You probably hear the Northern Ireland contingent behind us roaring on their team as they're given a 2-on-1 in their favour in their attacking half. Can they work an opportunity to put a bit of pressure on Tom Kelly and Kyle Alexander in that England goal? Got Ben Thompson to the left, Bartek Kuskowski to the right, taken by McCabe. He finds Bartek Kuskowski, tries to see it back to McCabe, who has a shot, but it's well covered by Kyle Alexander. But it's good, promising signs from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, they're not lying down either, they keep on going.
No, and that's what's so brilliant about these events. Kuskowski with the corner kick. Ethan McCabe just in front. Ben Thompson at the back post. Dead silence in the sports hall as Kuskowski takes the free kick. Ethan McCabe just a few millimetres off, and Kyle Alexander can advance now. It's 3 against 1. But it's good pressure from Ethan McCabe to force them straight back into the defensive half. So Ben Thompson now can have a chance to put on some pressure. Just when you think it's a 3-on-1 advantage, counter-attack from England. One little interception and track back from Ethan McCabe. Sets the ball in motion and it pivots to a Northern Ireland chance. Kelsall to Rigby. Can he work this opportunity? Can't quite get the purchase on the ball, and it goes out for a Northern Ireland goal kick. Ellie Brown to take. Ethan McCabe just dropped deep. Can they work this opportunity from McCabe to Kuskowski? I think Dan Rigby's kind of clocked on to the blueprint that they're trying to achieve, but they've gone the other way this time, which they wasn't expecting. I don't think Ben Thompson was either. Most times within that phase of play, they've favoured Bartek Kuskowski on the right hand side, and Dan Rigby had that covered, so it forced Ethan McCabe to experiment and trial Ben Thompson over this side, and it caught both the England and the Irish contingent out, unfortunately. But promising sides, as we've just have some substitutions from the England side, as Greg Baxter and Lewis Harris are reintroduced. Lewis Harris will be chasing that hat-trick, and that's in the place of Dylan Kelsall and Tom Kelly. Lewis Harris drives it down the line for his first involvement in this second half. It's cut out well by Ben Thompson. Can he pick out Kyle Alexander? He can. Can he do likewise to Dan Rigby? He can't. Better communication now between Greg Baxter and Kyle Alexander as Lewis fires it into the side of Kyle's chair. Ben Thompson does well to just break up the play, fragment it a little bit in this England attack. Can he sweep his chair around to get the advantage, get the ball advance up into the England defensive half? He can't, unfortunately. You can see it, Brian, the communication with this England side. I don't know what Adam and Chris have said to their side in the lunchtime break, but they're just, whether it was a confidence thing or they're just coming out their shells, they just seem different and they're communicating as one on the same page.
Yeah, I think some of it was a bit of a bit of nervousness. You saw them come out; they weren't quite playing what they normally do. I think now they're settled down into a rhythm.
It's well worked by Ben Thompson. Yeah, we can't understate how big an opportunity this is for these players to represent their country, even if it is at a more developmental stage.
Yes,
these will all have the potential, if they continue their development, to represent their senior sides. They're here. They're not here because of luck.
No, they're not. No, it's hard work.
It's hard work. It's dedication to this sport, and for this to be the level 2-3 years out of a pandemic, it's beyond encouraging for the future of the 3, 4, 5 years. You just question where we would be at if we didn't have that 3-year lull in power chair football. But if this is what we've got, I'm more than happy.
Every player on the pitch today will be thinking, if something happens to one of the players, God forbid, in the senior team, I'm their deputy. So, you know, there's always a place available. And if they play enough, if they play well enough, you know, Colin Gordon will have to look at them.
Yep, I'm sure a certain Mr. John Bolden will be watching the streams and quaking in his boots that one of these players is set to take his position as he's close to retirement. Just joking, John. I love you, really. See you here in May.
I'm sure John will be on the phone in about 5 minutes.
He will.
And I think it'll be a definite personal message to you from him with love.
I think he'll be beyond encouraged to see players and the development of the standard across power chair football as a whole. England more specifically for him and their position, but the future is bright. You're looking at this Northern Ireland side. This is a development side.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
When we get to May, where we're seeing the senior setups compete in a similar style of competition, it's going to be amazing. If this is the quality we've got here, we're in for an extremely exciting tournament.
We are.
May 7th and May 8th. Join us on our stream, so we'll once again be here in Belfast.
We will, of course.
And then later in the year in August, we're really excited about the Geneva Cup. Can you roll off the competing nations in the Geneva Cup off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think it's definitely Switzerland, Belgium, Germany, Scotland, Austria, and Belgium.
You said Belgium.
Did I say Belgium?
But no.
Maybe I like Belgium a lot.
How many teams are there competing?
I think there's 7.
7. So seven kind of.
Scotland, Switzerland, Belgium, Italy.
Oh,
that's the one I forgot.
It's going to be an amazing tournament. 7 countries that are all in their, probably safe to say, in their infancy.
Yes, I think so.
With regards to power chair football.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to some of the coaching setup of the Scotland side here today, and they're really excited about the prospect of testing themselves up against similarly matched nations.
Yeah, and for them it's a stepping stone to bigger and better things. It's the only way they're going to get to play in a enriched tournament.
But for certainly making up for lost time with this event and others, as we're seeing England pick the ball apart. Dan Rigby tries to squeeze it over to Kyle Alexander. A superb ball back to Dan Rigby. Squeezes it in the near side post, and that makes it 3-0. Really worked goal that.
Very well worked goal. Patience, passing backwards and forwards.
Even as a spectator, I didn't know what Dan Rigby was going to do next. He feints his chair and angles it in certain ways that makes you, confuses you. And I really want to watch that goal back because that was extremely well worked.
Speaking to Dan only a couple of weeks ago when he's been talking to John a lot lately, a bit of a mentoring going on for John, and I think that John was very happy that was put in the back of the net.
Yeah, well worked, Dan Rigby.
I'm sure Dan's parents who are in the crowd today love that as well.
Absolutely. Can Northern Ireland put some pressure on England? Just wonder if England will just sit on this 3-0 win, 3-0 scoreline now. Will that allow any little bits of complacency to slip in where Northern Ireland can capitalise? So far, the goal, whoever's represented England in this goal has been fairly uneventful for them.
No, I think the team they've got at the moment are playing really well. I think England players know that the guys on the subs bench are eager to get on and show what they can do. So I believe they'll be playing the best of their ability to stay on.
Absolutely.
They want to give the coaches a headache.
In case you missed it, there's a substitution for Northern Ireland as Bartek Koskowski comes off in favour of Carl McVeigh. But even with a 3-0 scoreline, as Dan Rigby sees it over to the back post for Carl Alexander to try and squeeze in. Unfortunately can't do so. Even with a 3-0 scoreline, I've been really impressed by McCabe and Ellie Brown.
Again, just gets a chair in the way.
Yeah. I said it in the week in the lead up to this event, the future of power chair football is really bright.
It is.
If this is the quality and the standard at this level, I can't wait to see future international and domestic leagues as Dan Rigby leaves the field of play in place of Patrick Kelly. Ben Thompson with the option of McCabe or McVeigh. He chooses the latter, and that allows Harris was patient in his decision making there. He just draws McCabe in, and now he can get all the way up into the upper corner.
Brilliant play. Took him up there, banks the ball off his chair. With England kicking.
With just under 3 minutes to go, England leading 3-0 against Northern Ireland. Patrick Kelly with the kick in. Lewis Harris to his left. Baxter just to his right. Goes with Harris. Back to Kelly. Into Baxter. No real direction on the pass, and Ben Thompson does well to intercept. Can they work a few more opportunities in these final few minutes? Definitely playing with a bit more of a smile on their face, bit more character this performance from England as Baxter finds it over to Alexander, but well cut out by Thompson. Alexander fires it into the side of Ellie Brown's chair.
Ellie Brown just moved slightly forward, knew exactly what was going on, took the ball out of play. I think she's definitely the pick of this crop today so far.
Always concentrating, always trying to figure out where her defensive partners are. Once again, cuts it out. We could say it all day.
Yeah.
They've done well to work it over the other side. That's what they had to do to try and squeeze it past the defensive line of Brown and McCabe. This is still a chance here for England as Patrick Kelly tries to see it past Ethan McCabe, but McCabe's done well. Harris there to resurrect England's attacking effort. A 2-on-1 infringement in favour of England will give them one last chance as we approach this final minute. Harris to take. Can he get his hat-trick? Can he put something on a plate for Patrick Kelly, Kyle Alexander, or a little deeper, Greg Baxley? Goes to Patrick Kelly, who tries to squeeze it past McCabe, but McCabe...
It's a lot of English pressure, but a lot of Irish just soaking it up and playing out.
Yep. Kelly to Harris, back to Kelly, 180. Ellie Brown does well to block it off. You have to be careful about the 2-on-1. Ben Thompson too close to Ellie Brown, and they'll be given one last chance to extend their lead and respective goal difference, as we're now in additional time, so to speak. This will be the last kick of the game, as England currently are winning 3-0, 2 goals from Lewis Harris and 1 from Dan Rigby.
This probably is the last play of the game.
I would think so. Looks like it will be Kelly. Will he fire it into the side of Greg Bax's chair, or can he get it over to Alexander at the back? The referee will be primed on his wrist, so he finds it to Baxter, but McKay and Ellie Brown are currently holding their position as Greg Baxter tries to nudge it over, but Ellie Brown at that back post prevents the initial danger. Greg Baxter's still there, referee's looking at his watch, into Kelly, can't get the poach on it, and now Thompson has a chance to break and unfortunately can't get a connection on it, and the referee blows it for the full-time whistle. Fantastic game there, positives to take from both teams, but England are the ones that come away with the 3-0 victory. As I said a second ago, 2 goals from Lewis Harris, 1 from Dan Rigby, a much improved performance from England, and the coaching duo in Adam McAvoy and Chris Gordon will be filled with confidence ahead of tomorrow's fixtures against Scotland.
I think England are coming away feeling very, very pleased about the win, but Ireland also will be very pleased about how they played today.
Absolutely. So another fantastic game in this EPFA Home Nations Cup 2022. Join us shortly for a really intriguing matchup between Scotland and Northern Ireland. Thank you all.